Hey gang, how's it going? It is Wednesday at 10, so we are here coming at you live. This is Alicia with Alicia Cross Training. I am a wellness coach, I'm a yoga instructor, a personal trainer, and I've been doing this for over 18 years, and this is not my side hustle. This is what I do 24/7. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. So my mission is to show you that you are not stuck. You're not stuck with the way you look, with the way you feel, and that change is possible. And change starts with the foundation of health. And I do that by merging the sciences of exercise and nutrition with the ancient teachings of yoga and Ayurveda. And I'm here to motivate you, I'm here to inspire you, I'm here to keep you accountable, and most importantly, just to cut through all the confusion that's out there, all the fads, especially when it comes to exercise and nutrition. So I'm here to help you reach your goals, and part of the way I do that is with these weekly videos. So if you are joining me here live, say hi, give me a wave, let me know you're here. And if you're watching the replay later, you can still post comments or questions, and I will get back to you. And thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. So what we're talking about today is some practices for the summer. So we're entering into the summer, which is, according to Ayurveda, the Pitta time of year. So we're going to be talking about Ayurveda and things you can do to stay in balance. So let's review what the doshas are. So the doshas are Pitta, Kapha, and Vata. And what is a dosha? So we kind of loosely say that it's your type or it's your constitution, but really what a dosha is your fault. It's the thing that can become out of balance. So if something's going to go wrong for you, it's going to go wrong in this area. I kind of think of it like your Achilles heel. You just need to know what this is so that you can protect it and take care of it. It does also give you strengths. So you really want to know what your type is so that you can be harnessing your strengths and really watching out for the roadblocks and the stumbling blocks that you're going to be prone to. Your doshas, what else did I want to say about that? Oh, you are born with a type, so you have a type that you're born with, that's your Prakruti, and you can also have, your type can change based on like your experiences and what's happening in your life. Usually what happens is your physical body won't change. You'll have your type, so if you're a Pitta, you might have very athletic, muscular build. If you're Kapha, you might have that apple shape, like you're carrying all that weight in your upper body. If you're a Vata, you could be either tall or short, but just very lean, like a hard gainer. So your body type won't change, but your emotional, your psychological, your mental, that type can change based on the influences you've had through your life. And if something's going wrong in that area, that can manifest as a physical issue in your body. So when you want to know what type you are, you can also just look at, well, what are the like 3 big things going wrong for me? What are my 3 big complaints? And that could be, you know, physical or emotional, and then those might all fall into one category, and that's what you want to deal with. So according to Ayurveda, your ideal health is that you have managed your Vikruti, so the thing that's kind of happening based on the influences of your life or your experiences, and you're living in your Prakruti, your birth constitution. And part of living in that birth constitution is we are all still following a daily routine, honoring the cycles of the day, and a seasonal routine, so honoring the cycles of the year. So there's different doshas throughout the time of your life. There's different doshas throughout the day, and there's different doshas throughout the year. So we're coming into summer, which is entering into the Pitta time of year. So what that means is if you are a Pitta, whether by nature or by influences what's going on right now, it's especially important for you to change your routine based on the season, but all of us benefit from making some changes according to the season. Okay, so let's see where we're going to start here. Okay, so the Pitta time of year, and of course this can be different based on where you live, so if the seasons are different. So Pitta it's hot. It is, where is number 1? Here we go. Pitta is hot. So we're coming into the hot time of year. So this is the Pitta time of year. Your physical characteristics of Pitta, as I mentioned, you have a muscular, athletic build. You might be prone to oily skin or acne or rosacea or rashes, anything that's inflammation. You could have red hair. Let's see. in your psychological traits, you're very competitive, you're very courageous, willful, determined, you're a natural leader, clear speech, sharp memory, perform well under pressure. So you're very driven, and so you can see how that can be positive, but that could spill over into negative if you let it get out of hand. So if things go wrong for you, what is going to go wrong physically is you could have, let's see, like I said, anything that's inflammation, any kind of, this isn't what I like to see. Balance, let's skip that. 2, 3. I have all my notes here, I swear. They're just not in order. Okay, so here it is. Signs of high pitta. If things are going wrong, you could be craving cooling foods. You could have excess hunger, so your metabolism is too high. So your metabolism, I talked about this in another video. Ayurveda is strongly about balancing your digestion and your digestive fire, the fire of transformation, and that's an element of pitta. So if you have too much pitta, too much fire, you're going to be hungry all the time. You're going to be thirsty all of the time. You could have allergic reactions. Anything where it's like hyperacidity, heartburn, ulcers, canker sores, indigestion, burning eyes, fever. Emotionally, you can have a lot of just anger and rage and jealousy. So these are all signs that your pitta is out of balance. And so you want to be really mindful in the summer, because the summer is like throwing gas on that fire. So it's contributing to that feeling of being burnt out. So it's a really good way to describe it. If you have a lot of pitta, you can tend to bald or go gray prematurely. It's like from the heat rising. You can be very passionate, but again, on the other side is anger and violence. Okay, so as we come into this summer time of year, this pitta time of year, summer, we want to be really mindful of aggravating these tendencies. And even if you're not pitta, you still want to kind of honor these seasonal changes. So the things that we want to start to focus on in the summer time of year is more relaxing yoga. So summer is not the time for hot power yoga. You want to focus on more relaxing, slow flows, or even restorative or yin practices. A lot of seated postures, especially in between strong, powerful poses. So it is absolutely fine to do things like headstand. Shoulder stand is very cooling. You just want to make sure that you're balancing out these strong poses with some seated poses in between. So think of a lot of like child's pose or just easy seated sukhasana. All those things that kind of cool down between those strong practices. You want to have very cooling breath practices. So alternate nostril breathing, that's awesome for anybody, any time of year. Alternate nostril breathing is great. But to let the breath be even more cooling, it's going to be a left nostril breathing. So that's in through the left and out through the right. And that is a cooling breath. So if you just remember L, left lunar, that is cooling. So that balances out the sun, the fire, the heat from summer. So that left nostril breathing in through the left, out through the right. That's going to really help to cool you down physically and emotionally. That helps to lower high blood pressure, which it can also be a pitta condition. Let's see. Just focusing on letting go of competition. So competition in life and in the yoga practice on the mat. If you are a pitta, you may be drawn to things like races and marathons and competitions, but that could be a thing that, again, is just throwing gas on your flames, just stoking those fires when instead we want to be calming them down. Your meditation is going to be very cooling and relaxing, focusing on surrendering, forgiveness, very gentle, done in seated postures. You could do nidras, you could do metta, loving kindness meditations, cooling breaths, meditating to release, to let go of anger, to let go of control. That's a huge one for pittas, letting go of control. So a lot of just allowing and surrendering, meditating on infinite space, being receptive, being open. So all of these very yin practices in your yoga and in your meditation. Okay, let's see what's next. Pitta. Okay. Other things that you can do to help balance your pitta, especially during the summer when we're entering into the pitta time of year. Focusing on moderation, not taking things to extremes. Again, you may be drawn to doing things like races and marathons, but again, that's an extreme that could contribute to physical and emotional issues. Honoring the season as far as diet, and we'll get into that. Eating in a peaceful surrounding, so not eating when you're, on the go or you're working, just letting your mealtime be a very peaceful time. Avoiding overuse of stimulants like coffee. Engaging in calming activities like being outside in nature. Nature is very grounding, very balancing, so finding that time to, go for walks or to sit in nature. Daily meditation. Calming exercises like yoga, the more gentle practices. Swimming would be amazing. So if you think of pitta is the fire, the water is very soothing and calming and helps to bring down that heat. Tai Chi, walking, especially walking in nature. Surrounding yourself with colors like blue, green, and white, very cooling colors. So you'd want to be mindful of surrounding yourself with colors that are like fire, like red and orange and yellow. So using those cooling colors in your surroundings. Listening to calming music. So putting on some calming music in the background of your yoga practice, or just listening to that music throughout the day is something that's more calming. Taking time to rest, being really careful pushing yourself, of overdoing it, of overexerting yourself, building that rest time into your schedule, listening to your body, listening to when your body tells you need that rest. Laughing and smiling, so watching funny movies or funny TV shows, so you can bring some more of that lighthearted energy into your day. Cool showers, so rather than taking really hot showers, taking cool showers. You can use essential oils like sandalwood, or what's awesome is the Rosewater spray, or Rosewater, very cooling. So part of your daily practice, your dinacharya, is self-massage, and in summer you want to use coconut oil because that is very cooling. If you have any kind of pitta issues with your skin, like I talked about, the rosacea or the acne, the inflammation, rashes, coconut oil is the way to go, and you can make a lot of your own skincare products, or just use straight coconut oil, and it can be the stuff you get in the jar that you can use for cooking or for eating, or you can get the fractionated coconut oil, which is in liquid form. They've just pulled out the molecules that make it solid, so it's more liquid. But even just the stuff you get at the store is fine. You can massage with that or make skincare products with that. And then lastly, just getting in touch with your emotions. Very reflective, introspective practices like journaling. And okay, so we'll get into the foods to eat that are very balancing this time of year, or very balancing for pittas. So you want to prioritize sweet foods. So sweet foods are things like grains, rice, barley, quinoa, cooked oats, wheat, rice, tapioca. The grains you want to avoid are amaranth, granola, dry granola, brown rice, buckwheat, and white flour. You want to prioritize fruits that are sweet. So things like avocados, bananas, berries, coconuts, dates, figs, melons, oranges, mangoes, watermelon, pomegranates, and you want to limit sour fruits, like a really sour apple, sour cherries, grapefruit, cranberries, pineapples, they're very sour, and strawberries. So favoring sweet taste over things like sour, pungent, and salty, because salt contributes to pitta. So for vegetables, let's see, asparagus, bell peppers, bok choy, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, butternut squash, cabbage, cauliflower, corn, green beans, leafy greens, lettuce, mushrooms, zucchini, potatoes, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, peas, potatoes. Potatoes can be white or sweet potatoes, spaghetti squash, Things to limit or avoid: raw carrots, tomatoes, eggplant, onions, hot peppers, red peppers, pumpkin, sun-dried tomatoes, turnip greens. So you really want to avoid anything that's red, that is spicy, because if it's already hot and your nature is hot, just throwing spice on that makes it even worse. You want to avoid things like vinegar, fermented foods. These are acidic, and those can contribute to the acid problems that can arise with Pitta if you're a Pitta nature. Beans are good, all beans for Pitta, so beans, lentils, chickpeas, split peas, all of the peas. Nuts and seeds, coconut, we already talked about, so coconut oil or coconut. Sunflower seeds, flax, hemp, popcorn, pumpkin, sunflower. Oh, I think it said sunflower twice. That must be really good. Limit or avoid almonds, macadamia, pecans, pine nuts, peanuts, cashews, pistachios, walnuts, sesame seeds. Sesame seeds because they're very warming. Salted nuts, again, you want to avoid salt. And poppy seeds. For your oils and your fats: avocado oil, olive oil, ghee, which is clarified butter, sunflower oil, walnut oil, coconut oil, we already talked about, that's amazing, grapeseed oil. Grapeseed is a very neutral oil, you can use that all year round. Coconut's very cooling. I believe I've had walnut oil before. I think that has a very buttery taste, very, very neutral, not like olive oil. Some foods you don't want to have that olive oil taste, so walnut's nice. I've had sunflower oil. Remember, that just didn't really have any flavor at all. You want to avoid peanut oil, sesame seed oil, mustard oil, flax. So again, sesame, very warming, mustard oil, very heating, and generally peanuts just not recommended for anything. So favor your avocado oil, olive oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil. And grapeseed is great to cook with because it has a really high smoke point, and again, that one has a very neutral flavor. So grapeseed is awesome. You can use that in cooking, you can use that on massaging on your body. It's a very neutral oil. It's good for everybody, all times of year. So for spices and seasonings and herbs, you want to favor things like basil, dill, cilantro, that's very cooling, coriander, cumin, mint, parsley, peppermint, turmeric's always amazing, vanilla, fresh ginger. And you want to avoid, again, those hot spices like cayenne and just hot pepper, horseradish, even garlic, those you want to avoid. Other things that you might want to avoid are mustard seed. Again, mustard's very heating. Nutmeg, that's very warming. Oregano, paprika. And it kind of makes sense when you look at these spices. So the spices that you want to use in the summer, they're not going to be things like nutmeg, right? Nutmeg's awesome in the fall because it's really warming. But in the summer, think of salads with like fresh mint and parsley and basil. All those things, cilantro, very cooling. So all those things just kind of make sense that you want to eat this time of year. Sweeteners, you want to avoid sugar and molasses. You can use natural sweeteners in moderation except for molasses. Of course, drink plenty of water. Smoothies are great this time of year. Limit or avoid caffeine. So we talked about avoiding stimulants because you're fired up, your energy's very high, very ragistic, so you don't want to rajasic, you don't want to add more stimulation to that already aggravated dosha. Just be mindful with tea. This is a great time of year for mint tea, so make sure your tea is an herbal tea, a decaffeinated tea, a cooling tea like mint tea. For your meats, egg whites are great. And of course, Ayurveda does not recommend consuming meat because it is very difficult to digest physically and mentally. So be mindful of that. Condiments, again, limiting or avoiding things that are red, spicy, vinegary. So you're going to avoid ketchup, horseradish, mustard, pickles, soy sauce, tamari. Soy sauce and tamari, they're very salty, so that's probably the reason why. Salt makes you retain water, and remember, inflammation is a side effect of aggravated Pitta. Okay, so again, you'll know if your Pitta is in balance if you are having excessive hunger, excessive thirst, feeling, burning eyes, if you're having a rash, any kind of inflammation, acne, rosacea, anything reddening with the skin, if you're having a problem with canker sores, ulcers, heartburn, all these things are a sign of high Pitta. And again, that feeling of just being really burnt out and depleted, you're overworked, maybe you're really prone to like conflicts and arguments, you're really competitive, you're driven to the point where it's no longer helpful. Anything with your liver, so liver and anger are tied together. So if you're having those anger issues, if you notice that your hair is thinning, or you're going gray earlier than usual, or you notice just an uptake in gray hair, if your dreams are just very violent, if you feel overheated, you're just craving cool foods and cool environments, have jealousy, rage, if you're just easily aggravated, like in traffic, somebody cuts you off and it's just, your blood boils. These are all signs of high Pitta, and you do not want to then run off to a hot flow vinyasa or, sign up for some competitive race. If you want to bring yourself back into balance, you're going for more gentle forms of yoga. Swimming is awesome. And of course, just general health and fitness advice, you want to move every day. So keep moving, just make sure that you're not overdoing it. You're keeping yourself in that range where it's, healthy for you. Keep up with your daily routine, your Ayurvedic routine. I've done a video on that and blog posts. And let's see, I think that's all I want to tell you. The exercise, the foods, the daily routines, and just, diving deeper into Ayurveda. A great resource is Eat, Taste, Heal. So it says that it's a cookbook, but really about a third of it is a cookbook. The rest of it has some really great, useful information. And these are just things that you can bring into your daily life. Again, just honoring the times of the day, honoring the seasons, honoring your own personal nature so that you can feel better. And I just encourage you to try, to find out, to see how you feel. And this is the process that I went through back in the fall, really incorporating some Ayurvedic, even more Ayurvedic practices into my routine, like the herbs and the lemon water first thing in the morning, and eating according to my dosha and according to the season, just choosing the beans and the vegetables and the oils that aligned with that time of year and with the season. And I really noticed a huge improvement in my mood, the way I felt physically and emotionally, my energy. So it was very reinforcing for me. It was worth it to keep up on that practice because I could feel the benefits. And if you are worried about disrupting other people in your life, just keep doing your thing. It's about you and about what makes you feel good. And the people in your life, they'll come on board. They will support you. I loved when Robert would ask me, can you have this vegetable? Can you have that vegetable? And he really honored and respected the journey that I was on and the choices that I was making. And of course, if he wanted to have something or make something that didn't align, it's fine. You can do that. You can have those things. Just know that maybe the next day you won't feel so awesome. So just choosing those things on a day where you can recover from that the next day. So this doesn't have to be all or nothing. You just work these things in so that you feel better, and it will keep reinforcing you because it will feel so good. So if you have questions about the doshas, about your type, about what else you can do to incorporate these practices into your day, send me a message. I will post in the comments the book that I mentioned, Eat, Taste, Heal. So that's a really great resource. And if you have a question that you'd like me to cover in a video, send me a message. Post it in the comments or send me a private message because I'm going live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And I definitely just want to talk to you about the stuff that you want to hear about. All right, so if you have any questions, shoot me a message and I will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.